So one of the things you do when you have kids is you go see movies that aren't necessarily in your wheelhouse. And then one of the things you also do when you're also a girl dad is go see movies that are even further out of your wheelhouse. She really wanted to go see this movie. So we went and saw it, and I was going to do the review with her. And as you can see, she's not here right now because for the most of the film, she was restless and bored. Don't take that as an indication of how good or bad this film is. If you think it's primarily geared towards children, that's not necessarily the truth. Really, who this movie is for young adults or really older adults who enjoy the world of Oz. It sets up the characters really well. Everything is just vibrant and colorful, well put together. They build this world very well. The acting is actually surprisingly good. Ariana Grande surprises me with her ability to be funny in situations that aren't necessarily funny. Her little quips and her little quirky things that she has in her attitude is actually somewhat surprisingly funny and fun to watch. Now, Cynthia Erivo's character, obviously she plays Elphaba. Her performance was actually very refreshing in a very innocent way, even though that her character has one of the darkest upbringings and past in this film. She has a reason to be bitter. She has a reason to be wicked, but she's not that way throughout this film. Her performance is honestly the standout. There's no wonder that she is a star of this film. Ariana Grande does a very good job of supporting her in that way and not trying to steal the spotlight. Now, she does make very good use of her scenes, and they play very well off of each other. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this film, and there was a point to where my daughter was thinking about actually leaving with her grandma because she really wasn't having a good time. And I was going to stay and watch it because I was invested at this point. We were almost halfway in. And one of the things I do have to say about the film, it is a bit long-winded. It's going on 3 hours long, and this is just part one. There's a few things that I feel that they could have cut out or they could have done shorter with, especially the romance with the prince. Unless they're going to build on that in the second part, you didn't need so much emphasis on the back and forth between the two girls and the guy. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that arc. It took so long to get through to just progress with the plot of which that we all were there to see. There's a good half an hour, 40 minutes. They could have cut off this film. I didn't need 30 seconds of these two characters staring at each other and not saying anything. It didn't need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes. I was like, come on. Let's get back to the flow of this film. It halted it to a stop. But other than that, I actually quite enjoyed myself. The music was really good. I can see why this would be a success on the stage. Now, were there a few musical numbers that I felt we didn't really need or kind of felt out of place? A little bit, because there were times where the song would last 10 seconds, and you're like, you could have just spoken those lines and just got it out of the way. You didn't need the extra singing, but those are minor nitpicks that I have of otherwise pretty good movie. It actually makes me want to see part two. Now, as far as some of the other performances, like Jeff Goldblum, he chopped it up in every scene that he was in. He plays Jeff Goldblum in every movie, and I love him for that. So this is no different. He plays in basically, if you've ever seen any Marvel movies, his character from that, it's almost like a continuation. It's over the top. He's eccentric. If you've seen the original film, you know already that it's just a guy behind the curtains with a big machine. And I also love the steampunkiness of it all. Everything's running on gears. And even though it's a world filled with magic and witchcraft, all the technology is still based on gears and levers and pulleys, which it's a nice way to accentuate the world that they're in. It's built magically, but also very organically, if that makes any sense. I have to say, Cynthia Erivo has got some major pipes on her. When she was singing, I was at attention. Now, Ariana Grande, she can sing. We knew that. She can act. We knew that. But Cynthia Erivo just blew me away every time she sang. And that final number, it literally turned into a Marvel-esque final scene. It's phenomenal. Like that ending part. Usually movies sort of fall off on the back half or the third act. This one did not. This one slowed down in the middle, but then picked up in the end. It ended on such a high that it makes you really want to go see that second part. So if my only critique of this movie is that it's a little bit too long, and some of the characters, the way that they speak, it depends on how much that annoys you. They'll say, instead of fantastic, they'll say fantastical or whatever. They sort of take words and change them, but it's not all of them. It's just every now and then. And if that annoys you, and maybe it'll ruin it for you, but it's something so insignificant. Watch the film for what it is, and I really think you'll have a good time. And if I were going to give this a grade, I mean, it's well done, well directed, well acted. The singing is top notch. So I'm not into musicals, but I'm going to have to give this one a B. Take your teenager, go yourself. If you have younger kids, I'm not sure if they're going to enjoy it, especially since it's not really animated. It's, a lot of kids are into live action films until they're a little bit older. But I think you have a good time. And also, I think it'll reinvigorate interest in the original story. Because a lot of people who watch this one may not necessarily know, they'll know about the original, but maybe they've never seen it. Maybe they didn't know how that story went. I can't wait to see the continuation of this one. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Have you seen it? What'd you think about it? Do you like the original? Does this make you want to see the next part? Let me know what you guys think. Later.